After almost 9 months, 38 weeks, and 267 days, I am honored to be joined by Francesca Hong, who is leading in the polls to be the Democratic nominee for governor. She currently represents Wisconsin's 76th district in the state assembly. Ms. Hong, it's an honor to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad we could chat.
Of course. All right, are you ready for this? I got some tough questions for you.
Let's go.
All right. Governor Tony Evers has endorsed David Crowley to be Wisconsin's next governor. He did this despite saying months ago that he would not make an endorsement in the race. Do you believe that the Democrat establishment fears you?
No.
No? All right. Candidates lie and try to pave over certain aspects of their past. Is there anything you'd like to tell voters about your past before someone else may expose it?
My past? Well, I'm a daughter of immigrants. I came up proudly through Madison Public Schools. I dropped out of UW-Madison. I believe Scott Walker is also a college dropout. He and I share that. And then I pursued a career in politics. Nope, that's not. I pursued a career in culinary arts. You know, I worked my way up from being a line cook and dishwasher and a server and hostess to becoming an executive chef. And then opened my own restaurant in 2016, the same year I had my son. And then in 2020, I was elected to become the first Asian American legislator in the state legislature. And now I'm honored to be a candidate for governor.
Wow. Staying on the topic of your past, in 2021, you co-sponsored Assembly Bill 88 that would have required those above the age of 5 years old to wear a face covering. Those who would not comply would face fines of $200. How can the people of Wisconsin trust you with their bank accounts when you've supported bills like this that could harm them financially?
I think that right now, many Wisconsinites are struggling because we've had stagnant wages. We have corporations that are getting tax breaks that we pay for, small businesses that are paying for higher tax rates than some of our largest corporations, some not even here in Wisconsin. And so what I hope the voters can trust me on is to make sure that I want more of our money to stay in our communities and in our pockets. And I think that it's important to know that we can raise wages. Right now it's $7.25 an hour minimum wage. That's unacceptable. We can absolutely tax some of the wealthiest to make sure that they're paying a higher tax rate. Right now, I think all of us here in this room are paying a larger, higher tax rate than some of the wealthiest in our state. And so I hope that my, principles in fairness and democracy and human rights, those are the values that I will be leaning on for making decisions as governor.
Got it. America just celebrated its 250th birthday. What makes you proud to be an American?
I'm proud to be an American because we have free, fair, secure elections. And I think that our poll workers and people who choose to vote and make their voice and power heard, that is a great act of patriotism.
Got it. So, the smoke that Wisconsinites are breathing in from these Canadian wildfires are dangerous. As a healthy teenage boy, it hurts my lungs every single breath I take. In my interview with Congressman Tom Tiffany, he expressed his concern over this issue, specifically for those with certain conditions. What can the next governor of Wisconsin do to protect our fellow Wisconsinites from this dangerous smoke, and what will you do?
I am a proud co-sponsor and co-author of the Climate Accountability Act, committed to clean, renewable energy by 2030, with a path to 100% by 2050. That when we invest in good green jobs that are union jobs and we build energy infrastructure that doesn't require us to rely on coal power plants, where we're reducing carbon emissions. These are ways that we can help create clean, healthier air. And we can actually bring in good manufacturing jobs as well when we look at ways to invest in the research to help with water testing to make sure that we have clean water for us now and our future. And so, I get concerned when Congressman Tiffany has 0% approval rating from environmental organizations and has promoted mining up in his district when these are things that could really harm our environment and our economy. So I hope that the types of policies that I've been championing in the legislature are not just the ones that will help make sure that we have a clean and livable planet, but that we're creating good jobs as well, that are union jobs with good pay and good benefits. We can absolutely have a win-win. Climate change is an existential crisis, and it's incredibly important that we prioritize it for our public health now and for our shared future.
Got it. But following up on that, I've been told that a lot of these fires are started by humans. Do you believe that Canada should have any consequence for these fires and letting all this smoke into the Wisconsin air?
No, I think that at the national level, where the country should be held responsible, like we all are sharing the air, right? So I would hope that there could be some agreement where we all work towards taking on air pollution together and preventing it from happening in the first place.
Got it. All right, moving on. A friend told me that they believe President Trump has done a great job deporting illegal criminal immigrants from our country. What is your stance on ICE in the state of Wisconsin?
I believe ICE is a paramilitary force and an enforcer of fascism. And we have people who are committing violent, dangerous crimes every day, who are American citizens at much higher rates than folks who may be undocumented. And right now, it's important that we focus on building public safety, and that for ICE as an agency, I believe that they've caused a lot more pain and terror than keeping us safe. And I want to focus on keeping Americans safe.
Got it. So just to be clear on that, you don't want to reform ICE, you would like to abolish ICE?
Yes.
Okay, got it. There's been fraud seen across our country in recent months. Nick Shirley has gotten millions of views online for exposing fraud in states like Minnesota and California. What are your thoughts on independent journalists such as Nick Shirley coming to the state of Wisconsin to help catch and end fraud?
I need to have a conversation with Nick Shirley and how he defines fraud.
Got it. All right. In 2026, LGBTQ plus is all over. There's no denying it. Many people, including myself, are not trying to be disrespectful or hurtful, but we do not want to live in a world that yells at us for having a different point of view. You have promoted LGBTQ plus rights extensively during your campaign. How do you plan to win the votes of those in our state who are not so keen on this lifestyle?
I don't want anyone to feel like they can't live as who they are. I think everyone deserves to be able to live life as who they want to be. And so I think that folks are welcome to their opinions about different lifestyles. However, I don't think we should infringe upon each other's freedoms to be who we want to be.
Okay. Moving on, you've said that assault rifles are, quote, military weaponry. So for all those gun owners out there tonight, what do you plan to do with the gun laws surrounding assault rifles?
I would like to pass common sense gun safety laws that have broad bipartisan support, like background checks, extreme risk protection orders for folks who may be at risk of purchasing a firearm or mental health or a risk to themselves or others. I would support legislation that removes sales tax. It would remove sales tax for certain purchases of gun storage units.
What counts as broad bipartisan support? Like, is that over half the Republicans, or what do you consider to be broad?
When there's a majority of Wisconsinites that support it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This question comes from two incredible human beings, my grandparents.
Where do your grandparents live?
They live up in Saxon, Wisconsin.
Saxon, Wisconsin?
Yep.
Oh,
this question is from them. What is your take on biological males competing in female sporting events and using female bathrooms?
There are very few instances in which this is happening at various levels of sports. I think that right now, we should let kids play sports.
Got it. All right. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer talks in her book about her campaign for governor and how she used messaging to promise to fix the roads. Do you have any plans for the Wisconsin roadways to improve travel for those in our state?
Absolutely. There are $2 billion that we could be saving from in our state right now, removing tax exemptions for AI data centers that are currently in existence. If they paid sales and use tax, which right now they don't because they're exempt from it, we could put this $2 billion into infrastructure, into rural road initiatives, especially when I talk to smaller communities, investing in making sure we're fixing, yes, the potholes, but that we're building durable roads with, creating good construction jobs from it. So I'm incredibly committed to making sure that we're investing in our roads and infrastructure, and we can absolutely pay for this by making some of these data centers actually pay their fair share in taxes.
Got it. I have two final questions for you. One comes from my teacher at my school.
What school do you go to again? Great.
At what point does a baby in a mother's womb become a living thing?
Pregnancy is so personal, and I believe that, for every mother, there is a very difficult decision, and it's her decision on when, there is what she considers a full pregnancy or not. But I think that decision has to be between the mother and her doctor. And so I as a mother, I have to say that these are decisions that I want fewer politicians in my doctor's office telling me what to do with my body, but it's a personal decision, and so I would leave that to the mother.
Got it. Final question. What is your closing message to your fellow Americans and to your fellow Wisconsinites?
To my fellow Americans and fellow Wisconsinites, we have an important primary on August 12th. Be sure to make your plan to vote. You can learn more about our priorities at francescahong.com/policies, our plans, how we want to pay for them and implement them. It's the working class people who are the majority, and we can come together to demand more of our government to be a force of good and actually make sure that we have the things that we need to live a dignified life.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lincoln.